channel. This week on TBRD, snow and ice and all that's not nice in the winter. So unfortunately, we're not going to be on the bike. But this week, very important update on the repair process of the 2020 S1000XR. So stick around. We're going to head in the garage while I provide you some important details and updates. If you didn't get a chance to check out last week's video, it is linked up above. And I broke down the details of the slight incident I had on my S1000XR, a no-speed tip over on the left side. So all the details of the damage that was sustained in that incident is in that video, along with a breakdown of the cost of each one of those parts, which I will review again today. But I wanted to provide everybody an update as to where I'm at in this process, and it may help you if you have a similar incident, depending on where you live, because all insurance companies are different. So I went ahead and I filed my claim. I work through Dairyland Insurance, is my insurer. Here in Maryland. That is who I've opted with. They're a company in the United States that pretty much specializes in motorcycle insurance. So I filed a claim with them. The total on the parts, if you recall from last week, the total repair estimate was for $2,121.79. The way that broke down was the parts total was $1,553.71. There was $300 in labor. The estimate itself for the damage was $125. Shop supplies come in at $49.86 and tax at $93.22. So again, the total was $2,121.79, less my $250 deductible, which means $1,871.79. I did go ahead and submit that claim and then received a check from Dairyland in that amount for $1,871.79, which is just the total of the repair less my deductible. A couple of things I wanted to point out, especially if you are stateside and you were looking to have some work done on your BMW. So, of the parts that were being repaired, and I'm going to list them in this video and I'll put the price next to them too. I had the left mirror, that was $113.36, and the hand protector left, which was $49.73. I had the lateral trim panel left, that's this piece, but it's just the one on the left side. That's $336.20, and this lettering, this sticker decal is actually additional. That lettering is $100.19. The turn indicator, which again, everything is on the left side. I'm on the right side of the bike right now, but the turn indicator was $62.34. The foot peg, which is, you see here, your foot peg, that was $114.87. The left rear footrest holder, which you can see the right rear footrest holder right here, is this assembly. That was $349.04. And the foot-operated shift lever was $179. I then had the auxiliary light mount, which this bracket was $61.98, and the auxiliary light on the other side was $187. Now here's what you need to keep in mind if you're trying to repair this in the States. Your timeline is going to be dependent on when all those parts can arrive at your dealership. So here in Maryland, they're getting their parts from pretty much two locations, Pennsylvania and California. I'm told 3 to 4 days for the parts that are in Pennsylvania in stock, probably 4 to 6 for those that are in California. If they don't have them in those two locations, they are coming from, you guessed it, Germany. The timeline on that currently, they said, is about 4 to 7 weeks. So here's what you need to know as far as my repair job goes. Everything was in stock in the States except for the decal. That decal just killing you, right, at $100, plus it's got to be shipped all the way from Germany, and the foot shifter. So your foot-operated shift lever also was not in stock. That's got to be shipped from Germany. So I'm looking probably about 5 to 7 weeks until my parts arrive. But the good news, as I said, and as you know, the bike is totally rideable as it is. So we're going to keep riding, assuming the ice storm that's about to blow through. The weather looks really terrible this week. And as much as I ride year-round, I'm not going to ride in ice, so that's kind of out the door. I did want to point out one more important part. This week on the vlog, I did a cost analysis last week to help me determine if I was going to file the claim purchase a few parts on my own to do my own repair, or how I was going to proceed forward. And it made a lot of sense after doing that breakdown. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check out last week's video. It made sense to go ahead and file the claim in my case with a $250 deductible, factoring in worst case scenario if they doubled the cost of insurance, which clearly they're not going to double it. But even if they did, it's still, I come out pretty far ahead by filing the claim. Then what I was going to do to make that even better in my favor is there were certain parts that really, while they are damaged, there's nothing really wrong with them. There might be a slight little, like on the back of the mirror, it almost looks like a bug hit it. You can't even see it unless you really zoom in. I showed that last week on the video. So there were certain components that I thought, I just won't replace them, which I've done in the past. It was a long time in the past. About a decade ago, I had a bike blow over in the parking lot that had a bike cover on it, or someone tipped it over. I don't know. I was at work. But anyways, long story short, I did a similar thing there where there was just a couple of components I fixed on it, but I did file a claim, and there was a couple of components that didn't really need fixed, but they were, quote, damaged, so they were covered. I was going to do the same thing on this repair. However, and this is the important part that I wanted to share with everybody, something to keep in mind. If your bike is financed, and right now I don't own this bike outright, I did not elect to pay for it all in cash. I wish that were something I could have done, but I did not. So this bike is financed, meaning there is a lien on it. And when there is a lien on it, depending on your insurance company, and I say depending on your insurance company because I've had this happen two different ways. I've had liens on vehicles, and I have been involved in an accident, whether it's someone else's fault or whatever the case may be, and a claim was filed, and I had a check cut directly to me. I then just paid for the repairs on a credit card if I was going to follow through with them, and then cashed the check. My wife was actually in a small incident and almost really no noticeable damage, but in terms of the estimate, it was somewhat substantial, and we ended up going ahead and filing that claim and didn't do a large repair with that, just held on to most of the claim money with just a small work done to the car. In some cases, depending on your insurance company, they're going to make the check out to the lien holder and you. And that is the case for me this time. And I thought that was interesting because in working with this insurance company, I've made a claim through them about 10 years ago, and they didn't do it that way. They just cut the check directly to me, even though at the time there was a lien on the bike. Now, when you get a check like this one that is made out to, let's see if you can see this, it's made out to Bob's Used Parts and John. So the issue with that is I have to endorse this check, and then since it's made out to them first, the way this is going to work is they're the ones who have to cash it. And when that happens, a lot of times most of your repair shops or dealers are going to be required to go ahead and perform the entire repair that is written up on the estimate. So something to keep in mind. And the reason I bring that up is I was going to scrub off about $700 of this estimate and just pocket that money to offset the cost of any insurance premium increase. And I'm not going to be able to do that now. So that kind of changes the numbers and the formula a little bit, but it doesn't matter for me because I was always going to get this repaired back to new. It's kind of a freak incident, and I don't want to be reminded of it every time I look at the bike and see it. That's going to be a personal decision for whoever you are, but I thought that was an important part to add to last week's vlog if you're in a similar situation and trying to make a decision. So that's going to do it for this week. If you have questions or comments, drop them below. I'll make sure to get back to you. If you're so inclined, go ahead and click that notification bell and subscribe button. Your support is greatly appreciated. And as I like to say, when the snow and the ice clears, keep the throttle back, the rubber down, and enjoy the ride.